Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Midday Market Update. My name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. Always glad to be here. It's one of my favorite days of the week besides Thursday, when I'm here for Trending Thursday. And, of course, now Wednesday when Patrick and I are here together for afternoon market action. So we got 3 live streams, actually 4, because Patrick also has a live stream on Thursdays at 11 o'clock for the mobile app as well. So we try to connect with you guys as much as we can. So thank you all for being here. If you can hear me, by all means, please respond in the affirmative, preferably with VV Nation, and let me know that I am coming across loud and clear. And let me know where you're tuning in from. Eton is here, awesome, from Israel. Miss McClintock is here from Southern California. You know, the place that I like the most in Southern California is San Diego. That's about as southern as you're gonna get. I do love the weather in San Diego, California. Adam has been chiming in prior to us getting started as well. So I thank all of you guys for being here as much as you are and supporting the channel. So with that, if you're brand new to the channel, I invite you now to sign up, hit the subscribe button to the channel. Number 1, number 2, hit the bell icon so that you'll be alerted to when new streams like this come out. And if you like the content, folks, don't forget to hit the like button. All right, don't forget to hit the like button. And many of you follow me both on Twitter and Instagram. If you can take a moment right now on your Twitter and on your Instagram, share the link to this live stream right now. Let's get a lot more people in here. I did not, and it's all my fault, did not set up an alert for today. So I may have a lot less people than I normally do because I did not send out an alert. That's why it's important that you sign up for that. But today I did not send out one. So I got Kenneth here from Gaucher, Dwayne here from British Columbia. Kobe is also in Israel, says sound okay. Stock time just south of Pittsburgh. All right. So I like Philadelphia. I like Pennsylvania as well. So, all right. So with that, we'll get started. Again, I did not set up an alert. My own fault. I should have done it, but I did not. And coming next week, I'll be doing this on Monday on my own. So I'm trying to learn from Joey how to make sure I get all of this ready for you guys next week from on Monday. So again, if you guys can share the link to this live presentation right now on your social media, I think that we can get a lot more people back up to the normal amount that we normally have. All right. San Diego is nice. Big Navy dominance. I'm 120 miles north between Disneyland and Huntington Beach. Yes, and that's, excuse me, another reason why I like San Diego. You know, I'm a Marine, so that was the Navy dominance there was awesome. So, and I have some relatives that were in both the Navy and the Marine Corps stationed there, and we went to visit them a couple of times. Really, really liked it. Really, really, really liked it. And I love the weather. Love the weather. Can't beat that weather. Cumberland, Rhode Island, David is here. All right, so with that, let's get into what's going on with the market today. So midday market is all about what's going on live today and how that's going to affect you in regards to investing in the market. Looking at our traffic light into the market, we got one red light today in the pricing column, which means that the price of the VectorVest composite is down both on a day-over-day and a week-over-week basis. The market's not moving up. You'll also notice that on the confirmed call, the slowest, most conservative call we have, we're still sitting in a confirmed down call. So a lot of it, I think, has to deal with inflation being what it is. The Fed's getting ready to make another move in another week or so, right? So we're going to keep our eyes on that. I still think that inflation is out of hand, and I think that the Fed is going to have to be a little bit more hawkish on what they are needing to do to get the inflation rate down. So as we look at that color guard, there's a lot of yellow, which still means a lot of caution, but there's a lot of red popping in. And just like when you get to a red light, what do? You stop. In this case, when we get more red than yellow, we stop buying stocks long. All right, that's the main thing. Looking at the major indices, they're all down. They're not running away rampantly down today, but they are all down, with the VectorVest composite leading the way, down about 0.6%. And the Dow is down about 0.3. The NASDAQ is down about 0.5%, and the S&P is down about 0.25% as well. So all of the major indices are down, but they are not running away rampantly down. Today is a breather day, and this is, a day after the long weekend. Happy past Easter to everybody. Hopefully you got opportunity to spend time with family and friends. All right, so with that, let's start getting into what my news articles are. And in regards to what's going on with inflation, the big question is, are we going to get a recession? So before I get into what I see here on the news, I'm going to give my own personal opinion first. I think that as interest rates rise, that normally sparks off the entree to a recession. Why is that? Because as we start to make money harder for people to get by raising interest rates, makes it tougher to borrow money, it's going to affect companies, the bottom line. Now, there's two sides of this right now. Even if we raise interest rates 3%, 4%, we're still historically low. I totally understand that. But it's the fact that we are raising the interest rates to slow down a booming economy. Well, part of slowing down a booming economy is to, again, pull back on the money. So once companies start to report earnings and they start consistently missing earnings, that's when the recession gets in. All right, because companies are not making money. Now, earnings is the engine that drives markets higher or drives individual stocks higher. Okay. And if earnings are affected, that's going to affect the market. And then if they consistently miss earnings, that's going to put us into a bear market. We're still not in a bear market yet. That's the reason why I say not until the end of the year going into next year. That's what you think. We know all, says Stock Time. Oh, that's knees. What are y'all talking about? What goes on in Montreal stays in Montreal. Who said anything about me talking about anything in Montreal? Sigh. All right, but that's y'all going back and forth. That's good. What's up, Energy? Glad to have you here. All right, so keeping all of that in mind, I still think that a recession hits, but it's not until the end of the year going into next year. And another reason why I don't think it's going to happen like right away is because this is an election cycle for midterms. All right, so we actually get to put some politics in here, not by design. It is what it is. So first story says Goldman says recession risks are growing, but it's too early to worry. And here's why. Here's a read on that. And that came out yesterday. Now, Goldman turns right back around and says there's a 35% chance of a recession in 2 years. I'm thinking it's going to be less than that, but Goldman says 35% chance, and that's still less than 50% chance. So based on what Goldman says, just looking at the last two, just look at the both of them, they know, they feel that it's coming. This story says, don't worry about it. And then this one says in 2 years. All right. So I went out and did a little deeper look into it. And I went to a site called FactSet. We use that a lot in the VectorVest software in regards to knowing where earnings are in every quarter. We could always get a feel of how many companies beat or missed earnings, and that's important because, again, earnings is the engine that drives a market higher. If more companies are reporting hits or above or surprises, that's good for the market because these companies are making money. Once these companies stop making money or make less money, therein lies the problem to a bear market or in this case, I think with the rising interest rates, a recession. 65% of the S&P companies are citing negative impact of labor costs in quarter one earnings calls. So there are things that are affecting the earnings number or will be affecting the earnings number coming into the end of the year. Remember, This is only quarter two. We still got 2 more quarters, and we're still in the beginning of quarter two. So a lot of companies still are left to report earnings. And if they keep hitting, now, even if they hit, what's the percentage of companies that are going above and beyond their earnings? If that number starts to lessen from the year before, then you know that earnings are being affected by what's going on, especially by inflation. Does everybody in the room understand that? Type a 1 in the room if you understand that. Type a 2 if you have no idea what I just said and it was just a bunch of gibberish, all right? Type a 1 in the room if you understood what I said, and type a 2 if that just was like gobbledygook, all right? Because it's important to know where we stand in regards to how close or how far we are possibly from a recession based upon what's going on with the inflation that the Fed, again, was late to the party on. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They were late to the party, and now they're trying to make up time and shorten the distance that they need to overcome inflation. And I still think that they need to get more hawkish. And the more hawkish they get, the more the market is going to have some disdain for it and going to be like, yo, this ain't cool. And then everybody's going to be like, what? And the market's going to be like, yo, I got to do what I got to do. And that's that. So, hey, Glenn, bought RFP based on trending Thursday. It's up. Thanks. You are very welcome, Bob. You are very welcome, Bob. All right. Again, a lot of the stuff that I give out to you is stuff that I'm looking out for you, hopefully for you to take advantage of. All right. So it looks like everybody understood what I said, that nothing went over anybody's head. And that's a good thing. That's a great thing. All right. So let's go down a little bit more in this story. Companies are still reporting earnings growth. That's still good for the market. All right, that's still good for the market. Let's go down a little bit more. Look at this. S&P 500 net profit margin. Net profit margin is expected to decline for the 3rd straight quarter. That's not good. So that's the amount of money that people are making. Not that they are or are not making, but the amount. So I take that story and move over to the next one. The S&P likely to report earnings growth more than 10% for the 5th straight quarter. All right, so that's good. In the VectorVest software, looking at the S&P 500 watch list of all of the stocks, is 502 stocks right now in the S&P 500. We've got an earnings growth rate of 20% projected, all right, because our earnings is projected out a year. We have a projection of 20% earnings growth rate, which is double what it says here. So thus still keeping us in a bull market at this time. All right. So that's what's going on in the market. Let's go over into the software and let's go take a look at our indices. All right. Let's go take a look at our indices. And from an indices perspective, low dollar stocks today, IWM, Russell 2000 is down. The VIX is up. So there's a little bit more fear in the market. For those of you who are new, the VIX stands for the volatility of the S&P 500. How much is the market doing this? All right. Anytime this number is above 20, there's a lot more volatility in the market. When it's below 20, low volatility, less fear. Above 20, more volatility, more fear. It's up almost 2% today. And then here's our UVIXY down a little bit as well. So that's some of the indices. Let's go to the graphs tab. And here's all of our major indices and what they look like today. Here's the Dow Jones. Nice jump up this morning, but very quickly pulled back. I'm looking at 2 moving averages. I'm looking at a 3 and an 8 exponential moving average. Came out bullish out the gate this morning, fell, came to a level of support at 34,394, and then rebounded and fell through, and we're now lower than that from this morning's level of support. The 3 and the 8 so far from the early morning until later morning until now. Market's still going down. Our VectorVest composite, why do we use it? Because it tracks the movement of over 9,000 stocks. And we feel that it is a better representation of the broad market move. Look at that, steadily falling, a little bit of a sideways move, and this is just today, a little bit of a sideways move, and we are looking at intraday 5-minute bars. The market currently is at the session lows for today. Here's the Qs doing the same thing. A little Jagosity, a little Loch Nessy this morning, pulling back, but for the majority coming into right now, the 3, which is the green line, is below the 8, which is the red line, bearish, and here's our S&P 500. So all of the major indices are exhibiting the characteristics of a pullback today or move to the downside today. This is a good day. This is a good day for us to sit on the sidelines or play the market to the downside because the primary wave of the market is down, which is our fastest indicator, and the confirmed call is still down. Today is a good day. If you feel like shorting stocks, you can. If you're not comfortable shorting stocks, you might want to look at contra ETFs. If you're brand new to contrarian ETFs or contrarian exchange funds, exchange traded funds, I would suggest looking at non-leverage contra ETFs to play the market to the downside. If you're more savvy with them and you can make a quicker buck, I would then look at 2 times or 3 times leverage. But everything today is still moving down overall. All right, still moving down overall. All right, so now that's what's going on with the market. Let's get into some big stories today. All right, Oil rises as Libya outages add to Russia's supply fears. All right, so we all know that Russia is, we're cutting them off across the EU. They finally made the decision that they're going to go aggressively cut ties with Russia as far as oil. Where's the oil going to go? Actually, China is buying it from them, probably at a discount. So we'll look at that. James says it's Glenn's Jagosity again. No, it wasn't Jagosity today. On that was more Loch Nessy than Jagosity. For those of you who are brand new, you've now been introduced to Glennisms, words that make sense to Glenn. And then eventually they'll make sense to you too. All right. And if you don't, they will. They'll all take off in your mind like an airplane, and you'll be like, oh, that makes sense. All right, so that's on oil. Next one, banks. Last week and this week. Last week was big for banks. What banks? Only 2 of them missed revenues, but they all hit earnings. They all hit earnings, but 2 missed revenues. I did that in a live stream last week. Bank of America, though, shares gain after earnings, results seen as good enough. All right. Charles Schwab, net income drops 6%, falls short of target. Now, let's get to the elephant in the room. Let's look around a little bit. The elephant in the room is Twitter. Good. Googly muggly. How many of you, and I want to know, how many of you, type a 1 in the room if you're tired, if you're plumb tired about hearing about Twitter. And number 2, type a number 2 in the room. Type a number 2 in the room if you can't get enough of the news. James says, what is Loch Nessy? Like the Loch Ness Monster. Instead of looking shark-toothed like Jagosity, Loch Nessy is a little wavy like the Loch Ness Monster. All right, so say that again. If you're getting plumb tired of all of the Twitter news, type a 1. And if you just can't get enough of it, type a 2. Wow, look at that. I'm wondering how many people are going to type a 2. James, I just put you on blast. Well, you just put yourself on blast. Miss McClintock says, William likes it too. Stock Time likes it too. Energy is like, I hear you, Bob. I'm tired of hearing all of this. I still, don't get me wrong. I don't dislike Elon Musk. I think he's a smart, innovative man. But you know something? I posted on my Twitter account, if he buys them, great. If he doesn't, great. Twitter came back. The board came back and said, I got to put it on Twitter first. The board came back and said, you know something? We're going to make it tough for you to buy the poison pill. Sigh. Twitter situation is hilarious, says Stock Time. I agree with you, man. And I'm hearing a lot of people saying that they're tired of it, but I see some few people saying it's good news that they feel that it's good. So Twitter needs to close a deal with Elon Musk. That came out this morning. Do they really? Now, the downside is if Twitter doesn't accept Elon Musk's offer, he's threatened to pull his shares out. That will affect Twitter adversely. All right, so there's a lot of moralness behind this, morality behind it, that Twitter really isn't all about free speech, and that Musk was going to bring free speech back to Twitter and back and forth, and Jim says, Elon Musk is smart. I wish he would buy Twitter. Listen, if he does, he does. If he doesn't, it ain't no skin off my back. There's too many other stocks out there that we can effectively make money on. I'd rather concentrate on that, number one. And number two, is this telling me that he's getting tired of Tesla, that he just got Tesla where it needs to be, it's self-sufficient, and now he's looking for something else to conquer? Another one, Twitter. Twitter stock rises, and this is key. Elon Musk says its board isn't aligned with its shareholders. So the board put out the poison pill daily, but I think in order for Twitter to say no, it's got to be the shareholders that vote. All right, and I think that's why you buy a stock, because you get some voting proxy when you buy into a stock, right? So that in case big things like this come up, how do you know that the shareholders don't want this? All right, I've seen stories, he's going to buy it for like $54 billion. I've seen stories that said that price is way too low or too low. I'm not going to exacerbate it, that it's too low. But if the shareholders are all on board with it, then they should think about that. All right, hold on. This is for energy. What is a poison pill? There it is. A tactic used by a company threatened with unwelcome takeover bid to make itself unattractive to the bidder. All right, so I would have explained it a little differently, and I think I would have confused you. Thus the reason why I wanted to do it this way. Why I wanted to do it this way, so that you get a better feel of what it was. All right. So this is going to be interesting. Is the board going to go on and do its own thing to deter this deal from happening, or will they get the shareholders involved? All right, so I'm curious to see what's going to happen there. So now, still talking about Elon Musk, Tesla earnings are coming up. What to look for? They're going to report on the close on April 20th, which is in 2 days. So there we go. Rolanda Parada, tweet from Walter Bloomberg. Elon Musk says Twitter board salary. I saw that he won't take a salary. All right, so that's about $3 million a year saved right there. There you go. Thank you for that, Rolando. I saw that story that he wasn't going to take a salary if he took over Twitter. All right, so that's interesting. That's very interesting. All right, Tesla earnings come up in a couple of days, and we'll see what goes on with that. I think Tesla is not going to be a problem for meeting earnings. The Jagosity sent me to my dictionary, and I found jacosity with the state of quality of being jocose. Now you look, see, that's the difference. My words are not in the dictionary. They're not. I do have a book of Glenisms. I got to talk to the person who wrote it. I got to see if I can get that out there, everybody. James says, Glenn, what are the key VectorVest strategies, though, with Twitter regardless? We'll talk about that. I'm going to help you with that in a minute. All right. And from an earnings perspective, I got all of these. Look at all of these companies coming up within this all week. A lot of companies. So I got them in a watch list, and we'll take a look at those. And I'm going to address your question, James. And his question is, what are the key VectorVest strategies, though, with Twitter regardless? So if you guys stick with me, I'm going to put you on board. I'm going to put you on board with some strategies that I think can help you out during this time. Where am I? That's not the one I wanted. We'll go here. All right, let's go to my viewers tab. From here, let's go look at the stories that made the big news. We talked about oil. So that's an ETF that I'm going to look at in here today. USO, Bank of America, there's Twitter, there's Schwab, and there's Tesla. And Tesla, by way of our master indicator VST, sitting at the top of the list. It's got the best combination of value, safety, and timing. And again, I don't think that Tesla's going to have an issue with meeting or exceeding earnings expectations. Schwab missed. They felt the effect. Oil rising up today. I think it was close to $113 a barrel. So on that rise again, I still think that that's a good place to have money in the market. Is still in petroleum. It's still rocking and rolling. Bank of America, because of their earnings report, they're good today. And Twitter is moving. And I think Elon Musk may not be off track by saying that the board and the shareholders are not in line. If I have time today, Michael, I'm going to try to make time today to look at a few of your stocks today. All right. I'm going to try very hard. All right, let's go look at the ones that are up the most, the top four. Let's go look at the top four. Let's go see which ones of these are decent plays for today. What are we going to put on? The quad thingy. All right, so looking at Twitter, and Twitter's up today. It rose. It looks like it gapped up today, even with the news of poison pill. I'm thinking that the shareholders may have something to say about this, and the board should listen, or the board's going to pay the price. The board's going to pay the price, and they're going to affect themselves in a bad way. Bank of America, after earnings, just recently coming off a high today. I don't mind that. Wow, oil hitting a new high just as we're here right now. Man, that's not a bad play. I still think that petroleum stocks are good to look at. And Tesla, a couple of days even before earnings, the stock's price is moving down. I wouldn't take it now, but I do like USO. I do like Bank of America if it can take out the high, but oil looks like it's really starting to rock and roll right now. All right, let me close out of that. So those are our big news. Schwab, again, is going down because they didn't do so well in earnings. Now, remember I showed you all of those earnings? Well, I got a listing of the top 29 that I knew. All right, so I'm not going to say the top 29, but the 29 companies out of all those companies, the 29 companies that I did know. USO goes X on big dividend tomorrow. Oh, does it, Harry? All right, it goes X dividend date. So if you want to get the dividend on that, let's clear that. Let me go back to the graphs. Let's go put on USO by itself. X dividend date. Let's go to dividend. Let's go put this on a 3-month graph. Wait a minute. Does this pay a dividend? Whoa. You got USOI. I don't know if I have that. USOI. I do. All right. Now let's go look at that one. And there's the X dividend date. There we go. There we go. Two different ones. Twitter board was elected by Twitter shareholders. All right. So if that's the case, Takara, oh gosh, I'm just going to call you Takara. Takara Batsos. Then even though they were, of course, so even though they were put in by the shareholders still should have a say. You're going to give all of the power to the board? You're going to give all of the power to the board to make this big of a decision? Or should you? All right, so let me ask the question. If Twitter is considering this, should the board make the decision on its own? Type of 1. Or should the shareholders be involved? Type of 2. All right. Should the board do this on its own, even though the board was elected by shareholders? Should they decide what should happen? Type of 1. If the shareholders themselves should be involved in the decision? Type of 2. My opinion is that it should be the shareholders have, because even though the board was elected by the shareholders may be like, yo, I want to take this deal. And then it's going to go private. He already said that if he buys it, it's going private. So I hear you, Takara Batsos, but I think that it's the shareholders should have a big say, if not all the say, in regards to what's going on with this. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Let me go back to the viewers tab. So I'm going to sort this by relative safety. Which companies should have the biggest possibility of meeting or exceeding earnings? Look at that. Schwab came up to the top of the list and they missed. And that's by our indicator relative safety. Schwab came up to the top of the list and they missed. All right. And I think that it's a lot of underlying factors besides just, missing. I still think inflation is an issue. I still think that jobs is another big issue. If companies can't effectively find people to work, that's going to affect their productivity, right? Just think about that. I think that we don't talk about that enough either in regards to earnings, right? Nucor, Bank of America hit already, but these are earnings that are coming out either today or by the end of the week. All right, or by the end of the week. Let's go see which ones are moving up the fastest. Bank of America already hit those, so I'm going to take the next four. Let's right click, view the stock graph. Let's bring up the quad thingy. Look at that, a gold stock. I'm still not on board with gold is rock and rolling yet, but I'm almost there. Not fully there yet. But Harmony Gold went up this one and looks like it gapped up, and it did. It pulled back, never faded the gap though. Look at that. Never really faded the gap. Came down. There's my gap level of about $4.87. Bounced off of that, rising back up. Today, I'd be looking to see about 5 cents higher than the high. Nucor has just been a strong stock. If it's not petroleum, it's steel. Nucor looks good. Just coming off of recent highs for the session today. Kinder Morgan, there's petroleum. Petroleum and steel, man. I mean, those are the two places where you really need to consider having your money. Kinder Morgan hitting a new high today. Halliburton, not nearly as sweet looking as Kinder Morgan. But I like that we have a gold stock, a steel stock, and at least one petroleum stock that's moving today. That's what I'm looking at. I do like Nucor. I'd like to see it break above that level of the high. I like that Harmony Gold is bouncing off a level of support. Would like to see it take out the high. Halliburton, not until it takes out the high, and Kinder Morgan looks really, really good. All right, what else I got? Fastest sectors. John says, Glenn, the BPG, what the flying flip is that? BPGDX? That's got too many letters. BPGDX. I ain't got that. All right, is that a gold index? Something tells me it's a gold. I think it's a gold. I got the GDX. I'll do that. I'm thinking that's what you're looking at. Put that on a 3-month graph. It is hitting a high. There's not a real reason why I can't tell you why I'm not on board with gold. But the gold miners, look at that. It's moving up. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Bottom left, top right. A little bit of indecision today. A little bit of indecision, but the 3 and the 8 still look good. I know. I got you, Maria. I figured that out. And that's why I got the GDX up there. All right, a little bit of indecision today. And you want BP for British Petroleum? Again, I will take a look. There's a lot of other stocks that I would use for. Petroleum, though. Gold fund up 15% for me. You got it, Lee. Again, once I look at this graph right here, the GDX, I can't fight the tape here. I really can't. I really, really can't. So, Lee, good trade for you, my friend. And you know something? If I'm looking at the graph on a 3-month graph, I'm going to tell you the same thing that Lee. Listen, the 3 and the 8 crossed over here back on 4.8, and it's been going up ever since. Glenn, are you enjoying the Twitter saga? I told you he was going to buy it. Yeah, I hear you. And check out, he pushed back. I know, Kevin. I hear you. I can't deny it. I really didn't think he was setting up to buy it. I didn't think so. And then he did. Somebody on my Twitter account said the same thing. So I'm with you, Kevin. I totally understand. And I'm tired of all the Twitter talk, though. I'm tired of it. I'm plumb tired. All right, let's go see. So you want to know what to get into now, right? That was the question. With all that's going on. So let's talk about the fastest sectors. All right. And you know, Kevin, I'm with you. I will watch gold. But the correlation of flying the safety of gold is not there, and it went away since 2008. So that direct correlation is not really there anymore. But right now, I think that in the rising inflation and the interest rates rising as well, that people may have an affinity to move to gold. So I'm with you. I will keep my eyes on it. I will definitely have to keep my eyes on it. All right. So John says, sorry, Glenn, it's the BP GDM on the stock charts. I don't think I have that. BP GDM. I don't think I have that. I don't think I tracked that. BPGDM. Yeah, I don't track that. So that's the stock charts thing. I ain't got it. Kevin says, love you, bro. Hopefully you and yours had a blessed Easter. Yes, we did. And I hope that everyone out there did as well. All right. Let's go talk about what to look for in the current time of what strategies are out there. And my biggest thing about strategies is always going to be about what sectors are moving. I'd rather have my money in the hottest sectors. What's up there? Petroleum, paper, steel, mining. Doesn't always just cover gold, but mining in general, retail, building, apparel, and so on. What I'm looking for when I run this 10-day RT Delta is which sectors are going up over the last couple of weeks, 10 days. Paper and petroleum. Steel is flat, mining is flat, retail is flat over the last 10 days. All right, and I'm streaming this as of right now. So, to answer your question, with the VectorVest system, you have the availability to see what the hottest sectors are from two different perspectives. I can go to the Viewers tab, all right, and I can go to the Sector Viewer, and from the Sector Viewer, I can see what the top sectors are. Petroleum, steel, utility, mining, blah, 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 blah. All the way from 1 to 41. Now, when I do this here, go to the Unisearch, I'm looking to see which sectors are rising the most over the last 2 weeks. Now, notice the numbers here, the rankings may not be in order. So when I see something like retail, which is number 24, but if it had a positive number, I would definitely keep my eyes on this, because it's what we call a mover and a shaker, not a high flyer. The high flyers are everything like 1 through 10. Those are the high flyers. But when I can see a search or a sector get amongst the leaders of movers over the last 10 days, that's what we call the movers and the shakers. And that's where I really want to concentrate. And that's why I look at the 10-day RT Delta. But there's only two, with the market going the way it is right now, there's only two that are positive, and that's petroleum and paper. So the question comes up is, so what strategies do I use now? I go look at the stocks in that sector. I go look at the stocks in that sector and give you the top 5. And now I can, San Juan Basin, I was personally in that stock. These are all oil stocks. But now I'm going to look at the ones that are really rocking and rolling the most to keep my eyes on what's going on. Gold miners will break out in 1 to 3 months, just saying. And you know something? I'll keep my eyes on that. We may be a little late for oil. Kevin, it's still moving. Kevin, it's still moving. And for anyone who's a little nervous about it, I would just put tight stops on it. But you can't fight what the market's giving you. If it's saying, hey, buy oil, it's up to you to buy it or not. And if you're a little nervous about it, which I see the emoji, if you're a little nervous about it, then I would just say put tighter stops on it. Does that make sense, Kevin? All right, I don't want you to miss out on the opportunity if the opportunity still presents itself. All right, that's the way I look at it. All right, so no matter what's going on in the market, if you always want to know what's moving the most, you can always do a 10-day RT Delta. You can either do it on a 10-day RT delta on sectors, or you can do it on industries as well. Now, with industries, I'm going to have a lot of the same industries, and I got retail. That's the reason why I use sectors. But if I want to hone in on what's moving in a little tighter, food, sugar, flour, grain, 24% as an industry that's moving. We've got 222 industries. This is number 25. I like that. It's up 24%, and it's not, this is a mover and a shaker. That's a mover and a shaker. So watch this, right? Click view the stocks in that industry group instead of taking the sectors. And man, we could do the same thing. Archer Daniels, there's only 7 stocks in here. Archer Daniels. All right, so now I want to look at which ones are moving up today. Truff, red light, and it's only 9 cents. I'd be careful with that. That'd be more of a day trade. Let's view the stock graph on that. That'd be more of a, nope, that's a no trade. That's got no volume. That's a no trade. But even though it's a industry that's moving on a down day, a lot of the stocks in that industry are being affected. All right, a lot of and the 10-day is 2 weeks, 2 trading weeks, Kevin. 10 days is 2 trading weeks. I like that. That gives me enough gumption to go, some meat. I want some meat. That's some meat right there. 2 weeks is some meat. What does the Huey say? Now, that's what I use for tracking gold itself. And on the Daily Color Guard report tonight, Lee, whoever's doing it, I don't remember who's doing it, but they will definitely talk to you about that. And the Huey, the Gold Bugs Index, is a great way to determine if it's the right time or not the right time to be in gold. All right, so that's a couple of different ways that no matter what the market is going, what's going on in the market, no matter what Twitter's saying, no matter what Facebook's saying, no matter what none of that stuff, if you ever want to hone in on what's truly moving, doing a delta on either sectors or industries will get you where you need to be to find some stocks. John says, oops, hold on. What did John just, John retracted his statement. What does the Huey say? I didn't want to look at it right now. Again, there's a lot of stuff there's a lot of non-subscribers to the VectorVest software that I don't want to give away. Does that make sense, Lee? All right, there's a lot of stuff that I don't want to give away because you guys who are subscribers to the software, this is for you, as well as people who are not subscribers. But to my guys that are not subscribers to the VectorVest system, I don't want to give them everything away, right? And talking about that, if you, oops, that's not what I wanted. Oops, that's still not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. If you are interested in looking at the analysis the way that I am here in the VectorVest system, you can take a trial to it for 99 cents for 30 days. 99 cents for 30 days. All right. Go to www.vectorvest.com/YT for YouTube. 99 cents. You want to see what sectors or industries are moving, not the high flyers, but the movers and the shakers. This is how you do it. Michael says, what about PAA, PAGP? Again, I'm going to try to leave us some minutes before the end of this session so I can look at some of your stocks today, Michael. All right, I'm going to try to do that. All right. Let's go back to my viewers tab. Let's go back to my watch list viewer and industry ETFs. Where's the money going today? I got a watch list of ETFs across the spectrum of investing. Let me go flatten this out. There we go. What's the big mover today? Natural gas. All right. So what's interesting? I've done videos on electricity for the electric car, on gas for liquid LNG, liquefied natural gas. I've done a video on uranium. I'm probably going to have to do, between Patrick and I, a video on gold. But it looks like we're on this commodities kick, and I think for tomorrow's video, the 6 p.m. video, I think I'm going to do another commodity. I'm going to do it on copper. What do you guys think about that? I think I'm going to do a video on copper tomorrow, another commodity and why it's important. Type a 1 in the room if you'd be interested in that. Type a 2 if you don't care. All right. Type a 1 in the room if you'd be interested in a copper video tomorrow. I think I'm on this kick right now for commodities. Wheat is something else that I've made money in. Gold is something I'm going to keep my eyes on. Oil, we know where that is. Natural gas, we know where that is. Uranium, I think copper may be a good video. If you don't answer, that's almost as good as a no. All right, fine. I'm going to put it out there. If you don't answer, that's as good as a no. And I'm going to look at all of the people that are here and all of the people that don't answer. I'm going to mark those down as 2. All right? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let me know if you really want to see a copper video or not. Because out of all of the people that are here, if you're not answering that, nickel is something I was thinking about. One of our managing directors in Australia did one on our YouTube channel on nickel. I think it was, is nickel the new gold? All right, so it is on. There is a nickel one on our YouTube channel, Eton. All right, not us. It wasn't Patrick or I, but Russell Markham did it. Go peep it out. Eton, it's already on the channel. I see the ones coming in. All right, so it looks like tomorrow's video, the 6 p.m. video, is going to be a copper video. Lithium is on my list as well. I got to put some things together, MKM. I got to put some things together because I'm getting some conflicting thoughts here on lithium, but I am definitely thinking about it. I am thinking about it. I want to make sure that I present it to you the best way I can, whether good, bad, or indifferent. Is that why people are hoarding nickels recently, because it has got copper? You know, Maria, I didn't see anything about that. Oh, you want to see the Bahamas portfolio? No, you don't. No, you don't, James. No, you don't. Hey, Joey, do they want to see the Bahamas portfolio? He's not there? He may not be there. That's fine. We're going to go look at it, though, James. We're going to take a look. Oh, Joey says, yeah, we want to take a look at it. All right. We are going to take a look at it, though.
And I lost control there. I had to jump out for a second.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Speculative plays. You know, I always like to give you some stocks to look at. I always tell you that my speculative plays are not stocks for you to just go blindly go and buy. Okay? These are stocks that catch my attention for a myriad of different reasons, whether it's in an industry that's rocking and rolling, or from a technical standpoint, the 3 and the 8 are crossed, or a lot of different things, bouncing off support, some kind of candle that lets me, blah, 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 blah. These are always stocks that I want you to keep your eyes on, and they're speculative for that reason. All right, so unpack your bags. Stock says unpack your bags. We're going to take a look at what the Bahamas trip has got going on. Glenn, are you trading long and short much? I am old school, and I like to trade with timing signals. A lot of my trades right now are still swing trades. I'm still swing trade. I got about 8 stocks that I'm still holding. I've got a buffer of good gains in them that can withstand some of this pullback. But I have stops on them. I'm not giving back all my gains. All right, so I'm very, very unlikely that I'm going to day trade. I got some money set aside for that, but I haven't used it lately because it's just been a tough time to trade that way unless I'm, and I don't always have the time to sit in front of my computer to day trade. Does that make sense, John? So my trades that I have now, longer term trades, they've got a nice buffer built in. So even if the market pulls back a couple of days, I'm still okay. Stock Time says hit that like button, folks. Again, if you're new to the channel, if you like what you see, let me know by hitting the like button. And I love the commentary. By all means, hit, chime in. I love talking to you guys. As you can see, I love answering your questions. And you know something, we got 154 people, and that's without the alert. That's without the alert. So thank you guys for definitely supporting Midday Market. That's even without the alert. I have to take my hat off to you for that. I totally appreciate the support from you guys. And that's really good for the channel, even though I screwed up. All right. So let's look at my top plays. Frequency. I think this was Verizon. No, that's a therapeutical. That wasn't the Verizon one. I couldn't find any news on this. I went through all of my sources. It's a therapy. It's a a bio. I don't know what went on with it. I know that this is news driven, up 32% today. Earnings per share is bad. Earnings growth is bad. I ain't feeling it. This is strictly news driven. But nonetheless, I got 4 stocks here for you. Let's view the stock graph. And, let's go put these on a 3-month graph. This is something I do like. After being in a downtrend this long, I do like the 3.8 on good volume. I like the 3.8 on good volume. Ronnie says, best coach I have worked with. You are. Thank you for that, Ronnie. That is awesome. And remember, I ain't all about pumping and dumping nothing, man. I just want to educate the folks that are on this channel. All right? I just want to educate the people that are on the channel. So I do like the 3.8 on big volume. I just need some more follow through on this. What else do I like here? Man, another petroleum stock, 3.8 just crossed, bouncing off support. Look at the rising volume. I like that stock as well. iPoof, look at that. Bottom left, top right, just moving nice up day today. Very nice open candle. RT above 1. HNRG, be careful with this. Even though I like the move coming off support, 3.8 crossing, a lot of selling pressure, a lot of people taking money off the table. I do like the move, but I'm going to tell you to be careful with that. It is above average volume, so there still is a lot of people who do like the stock. So just keep that in mind. And so those are my stocks that I like, the top 4 that are moving up today that are my speculative plays. All right. Today's big movers, this is looking at our percent price boomers. Let's go see what stocks are moving up here. These stocks had to be over $2 and up at least 10%. This met that criteria, but look, it's down now. Look at they gave it all back. This is Casa is up today because Verizon took a 10% stake in them. All right, 10% stake in them, but that's why it's moving up today. Let's go take a look at the top 4 here. These are oil. Natural gas. Nice move on it, up 18%. But as quickly as it goes up, it can go down tomorrow. Just those are trades. The oil, even though as much as I like gas, it can hurt you. As quickly as it can make you happy, it can make you sad. So when you're happy, hooray, or sad, or excited, yeah, or mad, rich. Exclamation. That was Schoolhouse Rock. How many of you remember that as Schoolhouse Rock? Just like conjunction, junction. What's that function? Yeah, I just took y'all back in time. Yeah, to a happier time in time. Yeah. All right, let's go take a look at these. View the stock graphs. Top 4. Let's go put on my quad thingy. All right, Casa looked good this morning. Again, this was a Verizon stake on the stock. It looks like it just made the majority of its move early this morning. It's come back now. Gas, look at that, man. Gas is just, oof. I'm telling you, gas and petroleum are the two. Gas, petroleum, and steel. Gas, petroleum, steel fertilizers. Gas, petroleum, steel fertilizers. The top 4 places to have your money. All right. That's they call GAS the what is that, John? Yeah. All right. So NTUS, big move today. I think that's a buyout. That looks like it's a buyout. Oil looks, natural gas looks good. ENSV leveled out, but now challenging the day's high right now. Look at that. Now challenging the day's high. I would look at 5 cents higher than the high before I get into it. But Casa, Verizon news, just not coming through right now. And it looks like NTUS was a buyout. All right. I'm not going to worry about, my special watch list. Let's go do this. All right. So I was going to talk a little bit about copper, but I'll make the video tomorrow. And John says gas is what they call the widowmaker as traders get killed trading natural gas. Listen, there's a lot of money to be made there in natural gas for a couple of days, but you can give it all back. All right. So instead of talking about it today, I will do the video for it for the 6 p.m. video for tomorrow. All right. With all of that being said, let's do this. I'm going to do some of your stocks today. So type them in the room. And we're going to do it this way. All right, start typing them in the room. Weekly watch list. I want to put this into a watch list. I'm going to look at some of your stocks today. I know I spelled it wrong. Doesn't matter. All right, talk to me. There we go. ROK, Republic of Korea. Rock Marines. Rick, okay. You guys are typing slow. I know it's a little bit of a delay, but you guys are typing in slow. EQT, MO, there's that. Fertilizers, MRO, oil, Zim, shipping. I still like that stock. MRO's up there already. LAC, the Los Angeles Clippers. GLT, comma, SNCY, comma, VICI, comma, EPAM, comma, AMR, comma, GLOP. That's another shipping company. Comma, Apps, Digital Turbine, comma, HRZN. I'm only going to take one more. Eeny, meeny, miny. HRZN. HRZN. And eeny, meeny, miny, mo. SoFi. All right. All right, those are my stocks today. Now, for those of you whose stock that I did not pick, if you go to www.vectorvest.com/free, you can get a free stock analysis on your stocks. All right, so tell you what we're going to do. The reason why I put these into a watch list is because everybody who just gave me a stock, I'll take yours too, Donna. BTU, I'll take that. EMPH is already in the list. And Valero, VLO, there we go. All right, I'll take that one too. And we already looked at Nucor stock time, but I will look at MPC. Trying to get us up to 20 stocks, and NVIDIA will be my last one. NVDA. All right. So here's my 20 stocks for today. The reason why I put them into a watch list is so that no matter what stock you gave me, you can see where they sit in my list of these 20 stocks by our master indicator VST. Which stocks have the highest VST, sorted by all the way down to which stocks have the lowest. All right, so that's the cool thing. So no matter how you feel about these stocks, the software ain't going to lie to you. The software is not going to tell you what you want to hear. The software is going to tell you what you need to hear. All right, and there's your Rock. Where's Rock at? I just saw it. There it is. Rock is towards the bottom of the list. I used to work for Rock, good company. But John, look at where it is in my list compared to all of these other stocks. And yes, Michael, I am going to put that PAA and PAGP because I said I would. All right. So still says I got 20 stocks. Did I not? Oh, how about add? There we go. All right. Real quickly, we're going to go through. I'm not going to answer a lot of questions in regards to what I think about these. I'm going to let the graphs do the talking. All right, I'm going to let the graphs do the talking on 3-month graphs. EQT looks good. It's a gas company. It looks hella good. Good Lord, looks like an L plane taking off, doesn't it? Ooh-wee. All right, next one. AMR, mining other, bottom left, top right. I like that one as well. Let's go to the next one. MRO. I'm liking that one as well. All right, next one. VLO, another energy. We're going to cheer for that one. BTU. We're going to cheer for that one as well. Ooh, Zim. Now, I know why a lot of people got into this because there was a big dividend that was given. But since then, well, the stock's price fell for that dividend too, didn't it? What is that, $17? It fell. That's a dividend fall. Right? Is that not correct? Somebody back me up on that. I think it's because of that dividend that was paid out. But nonetheless, I'm not feeling it right now. All right. So I'm just saying, I ain't telling you what you need to hear. I ain't telling you what you want to hear. I'm telling you what you need to hear. Oof, MPC. I'm liking that one. Another petroleum stock that's rocking. Transportation ship. I think that right now this is better than Zim. But it's leveling out right now. So I'm just going to sit there and go, okay, Glenn has been teaching everyone really well on the stocks that have 45-degree angle? Not a whole bunch. Well, some of these do have nice 45-degree angles. Put a ruler on, it's what we call a ruler stock. So GLOP right now is just leveling out. If you're in it, I'm not going to tell you to get rid of it. Especially, I got a level of support sitting right about here. I'm going to call it right about there. As long as it stays above that, you'll be fine. Woof. NVIDIA, I'm not feeling that one as well. Look at that. Look at it just falling. And the 3 is getting further below the 8. A little bit of a rebound today at a level of support. I got to see if it stays above that level of support. That level of support is sitting at the value of 210.58. It's at 214. But the stock's price has just been falling. I'm not feeling it. Same thing with apps, Digital Turbine, which I think is a good stock overall. I'm not feeling it right now. The 3 and the 8 have been down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, almost 2 weeks. Almost 2 weeks. It is coming to a level of support, sitting at the value of 34.97. And look at that closed candle just sitting there like that. I'm not feeling that, folks. All right. PAGP, a lot of this was because of a dividend that was coming up. I'd like to see it take out the high. If you're in it, leave it alone. It's stopping at a level of resistance currently at 1212. Yeah, 1212. Let's see if we can get above that. Then it's got another headwinds to get above this high of 1283. All right, next one. PAA. Wow, it was sitting in a little bit of a channel. It broke out to the upside. That's not half bad. All right, that's not half bad as well. I'm going to cheer for that. I like that it was sitting in a descending wedge. It broke out and got a buy again. And the 3 and 8 is still positive. I sort of kind of like that. EMPH right now pulling back. I wouldn't buy, but it's still sitting at a level of support, sitting at 184.77. Let's see if it can stay above that. If it breaks below that, that's my second case of getting out. The first case is the 3 is below the 8. Next one, EPAM. No, not right now. I see this in a little bit of channel. I can draw this channel by eye. Look at that little tight little channel right there. Let it get out of its own way before I'm thinking about getting into it. All right, if you're in it, at least I'll give you a hard line in the sensing at 257.33, okay? Cincy, Sun County Air Transportation. There's more airlines to get into. This is also sitting in a channel, a little bit of a rebound day with a red candle, but open red candle. I'd like to see it break above that level of resistance, sitting at 27.23. All right, it did become, just off of that little bit of a rebound, did become a buy recommendation, but I really needed to break above that level of resistance. What just Quest Muay Thai Bak? What did they say, Joe? I missed it. All right, Vichy, REITs do well. Tend to do well in rising inflation. All right, so new 3-month high. I do like the 3.8. The volume needs to pick up a little bit. I sort of like that. Tobacco. I do like the move. I got a level of resistance at this high of 55.33. If I'm in it, leave it alone. The 3 and 8 are fine. I'm getting some pullback here on the wicks. I'm getting some selling pressure, but right now I'm still fine. Ooh, Rockwell, I'm not feeling that. It did break above a level of resistance at 275.28 and then very quickly went down. It's still sitting in the channel. And the 3 and the 8, excuse me, are saying it's not the right time to be in it. Now, Glatfelter, paper. Paper is on the move. I did that last week in Trending Thursday. The paper was on the move. This may not be a bad play. I know that the sector is moving, so the stock nicely bouncing off support. I like the 3 and the 8. I'd like to see it take out that level of resistance, though. And the last one in here is Horizon Tech. You know something? It faded the gap, but just not... That's what I got to say about Horizon. All right. So those are my stocks picks. Those are the picks you gave me. I gave them, broken down for you real quick. Last thing I want to do, let's go to the portfolios. There's the Bahamas trip. This is the one that's using the primary wave. Primary wave is down, so this is sitting in cash. This is the other one that's using Steve Chappell's trading system. It's down 12.67%. I'm still okay with it, though. You know why? We got time before the trip. And the reason why, you got to short. You got to short. That's why we're shorting. We're shorting, so it's okay. One of these is making money to the downside. 16% BRCC. All right. But all the other ones, it ain't happening so far. Thank you for that, stock time. All right. You know all of those stocks that I give you as speculative plays? I've got a portfolio that I look at some of those stocks, cheap long-term stocks, since the beginning of this year, up almost 25%, folks. So when I tell you that these stocks are look at all these lower dollar stocks, all right? When I tell you that there's stocks that I want you to keep your eyes on, I ain't just whistling Dixie. San Juan is in there. EBR is in there. There's a gold stock in there. Diana shit. So when I talk about some of these stocks, folks, I just want you guys to just keep your eyes on those stocks. Just keep those on. That's not a bad looking portfolio. That's not, what else did I just do? Inflation stocks. Remember I just did that video? The day that I did that video, I initiated a portfolio. Let's see what it looks like. 3.62%. These are stocks specifically. If you want to know how I found these stocks specifically, go to my inflation stocks video. I walk you through how I found each one of these 15 stocks. All right, so I'm not going to go through why I found them here. Go to that video. That video walks you through 6 different types of stocks to look at during inflationary times. Not half bad, right? Up 1.67%. Today is a down day, right? Today is a down day and it's up almost 1.75%. No, that's not the Bahamas portfolio. That's the Bahamas portfolio, and that's the other Bahamas portfolio. All right. So with that, I'm done. Which one do I click? I click, is it this one? No. Is it this one? No. Right. Is it this one? Yeah, that one. All right, I'm working my way through this. I'll be working my way back to you, girl. All right, so, Glenn, a few weeks ago, you mentioned CRK. Take a look at that one. Wow. Yeah, I won't look at it today. But listen, I tell you, when I give you those stocks as possible picks, I do cherry pick them for you. I do cherry pick them as possibles to take a look at. How many likes did we get today? Let's go find out. We got 69 likes. Well, again, I had less people here than I normally do. So if you haven't already, let me get that back to Joey. If you haven't already hit the like button, I'd love for you to do so. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, folks, hit the subscribe button. We do this every week. So if you're looking for a place that's not all about, oh, I gotta go buy this one and the world's gonna. That's not what we do here. I want to educate you. I want to keep you on top of what's working that you can have possibilities to make money with. That's what we're all in the stock market for. All right. So if you like the commentary that we did for you guys today, hit the like button. Ninja says, thanks for SJT, and it's done very well. It's a stock that I've had for you, I believe, as a speculative play. All right. And I've personally made money on it as well. All right. Folks, we had a good session today. And again, I apologize that I did not set up an alert, but we had a good amount of people here, which means that you guys actively support the channel with or without an alert. And again, I thank you all very much for that. Michael says, indeed, awesome session again. Thank you, Glenn. Thank you here. Thank you again for supporting the channel. All right, I got to go. And thank you for the idea. I had already thought about doing copper. I believe then that's going to be the 6 p.m. video for tomorrow is going to be copper. It's going to be another commodity that we look at since we've already started looking at a couple already. All right. So with that, folks, adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. Bom dia, salam, shalom, namaste, yasu. Until next time, folks, see ya.
You have to do it. You didn't give me control.
Oh.